If you're analytical like me, but also want to get ahead in life, you probably overthink everything. At least I do. So I started turning my biggest lessons into equations, because that's how my brain works. And in this video, I'll share you the 5 most powerful equations that completely changed my life. It's 2020. I'm in the car with my dad. I just came back from a 6-month sabbatical. And I'm writing my book, about to start my own business, and I'm full of ideas. But my dad has a different energy. He says, "You have a great salary now, why quit your job? What about your pension? 95% of businesses fail." He keeps on mentioning reasons why it's a bad idea to start my business. When I get out of the car, I feel drained. The next day I give him a call, telling how I feel. It wasn't an easy conversation, but it was an honest one. Still, for the next years, I was eager to prove him wrong. When I sold tickets for my first workshop, he asked, "How many tickets did you sell? And at what price?" 5 tickets, $50 each. So he responded, "Well, that's not a business case." I hated the comment, but luckily, things changed. He's my biggest supporter now. But that car ride taught me something important. This equation: action equals belief minus fear. When I started my own business, I was scared, afraid of failing, afraid of opinions of others, and afraid that my dad wouldn't approve. But my belief that I had to do this was bigger than my fear. That's why I took action. Small steps, every day, writing 1 LinkedIn post, calling 1 potential client. But then I discovered something surprising, because each action made my belief grow and my fear shrink. Maybe you've been waiting to feel ready to take a big step, but belief doesn't grow from waiting, it grows from doing. Taking action grew my belief, but it didn't give me real confidence yet. That came later. The next equation is confidence equals courage times practice. In university, I hated giving presentations. I only gave a presentation when I had to. My courage was low, and my practice was almost 0. Then I set a rule for myself. Every time someone asked who wanted to present, I had to raise my hand. My courage went up a little, and this gave me more chances to practice. Those 2 multiplied, and my confidence didn't grow linearly, it grew exponentially. If you only speak up when you have to, your confidence will not grow. So raise your hand more often, because that's how it compounds. As my confidence grew, I started noticing something else. Confidence helps you speak up, but to be heard, you also need something else. Connection. Connection equals curiosity minus judgment. My first manager was a super busy guy. He got emails every minute, people calling for his attention. But when I spoke with him, I felt like he didn't have a job at all. He was so present. He asked questions and really listened. Not to respond, but to understand me. And it had such an impact on how I felt. More curiosity means more connection. But let's talk about the other one. Because I'm quite analytical, as you know by now. And I used to judge people who were more impulsive. The ones who would speak up before thinking things through. It annoyed me. I thought they should analyze first and then talk. But over time I realized those same people often had something I didn't. They were persuasive. While I was still perfecting my message in my head, they were telling great stories. They were connecting. So then I got curious. Curious about how they did that. I stopped judging and started learning. And that's when I began to connect better. Also, I became a better communicator in general. So the next time you feel frustrated in a meeting, maybe ask 1 more question before judging. You might be surprised by what you learn. But once I started connecting better with others, I realized something else. I was losing the connection with myself. When I started my own business, I was always thinking about work. I could not shut down. And as a result, I often woke up in the middle of the night, being wide awake and no way I could sleep. I'm not proud of that. Like 5 days before my first keynote, I didn't have any content yet. I was too busy with the other stuff. Until I tried to reply to a super simple email, just to find a date for a meeting. But the screen went foggy. And then I knew this is not good. So I went to the forest. I called my coach and he said, create stillness. I thought, I don't have any time for stillness. My keynote is in a few days. But I listened. So I created that stillness. I sat there in the forest, relaxed, no music, no podcast, nothing. I had my eyes closed and I finally felt how busy everything was inside. Thoughts, worries, everything. It was like a crazy highway going left and right. I was close to burning out. So I took 3 days off. I turned off all notifications. No laptop, no phone, just silence. And when I came back, I finished the keynote content in 1 day. Clarity equals stillness divided by distraction. Once you create stillness and remove distractions, clarity goes up. These days I start my mornings without my phone. There's this app that I use, 1sec, that blocks apps on my phone. I don't get a commission, no affiliate, but just a great app. Clarity grows from not adding information, but removing the noise. Stillness gave me clarity, but peace that came from something else. One night my baby wouldn't stop crying. I tried everything. Giving a bottle, rocking, walking around the room. Nothing worked. And the more I tried to fix it, the more frustrated I got. Then I gave up. I just sat down and held her. I stopped trying to make it stop. And suddenly she stops crying. Peace equals acceptance divided by resistance. Because peace doesn't come from control. It came from acceptance. Sometimes the fastest way to calm things down is to stop fighting what's already happening. That's peace. Alright, these equations aren't perfect, but they've helped me make sense of life. Maybe they do the same for you. So thank you very much for watching. I love thinking about these everyday human struggles. The things I'm afraid of, the things I mess up. And then sharing them here, hoping they help you too. So if this video resonated with you, hit subscribe. See you in the next one.